Welcome back. This is a follow-up video to the previous one I did on installing a new head unit on my 2015 Toyota Prius. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about microphones, because one of the things that I noticed when I got the head unit installed was that the quality of my microphone on calls was really poor, particularly when the air conditioning was on. So I'm actually going to compare three different microphones. The built-in microphone, which is literally just a hole inside the corner of the head unit, a cheap $8 microphone that I picked up on Amazon, and a more expensive, this is about a $20 microphone that I picked up on eBay, and I'll provide links to both of these microphones in the description. So what I did was I went and actually tried each of these microphones with the air conditioning off and the air conditioning on, and I also tried various different locations for the more expensive microphone. And what I did was record each of them using the voice note recording app on the head unit, and I'm going to play each of them back. So the first ones here are the sounds from the internal microphone. So here we go with the internal microphone and no AC. Recording one with the internal microphone on the head unit, no AC. All right, and as you can see from, or hear from that sound clip, even with the built-in microphone, if there's no air conditioning on, it sounds reasonable in the car. It picks up a lot of noise from, generally from the car. It's because it's, very tightly tied into the frame of the car, so any vibrations in the car will be picked up by it. But I'm just going to show you what the air conditioning is like on full in the car, just so you can hear it on the phone. Now I'm recording this on a Samsung phone, and it probably has a little bit of noise cancellation built in, so I'm not sure how clearly this will come through, but it is pretty loud with this on in the car. If I was having a conversation with somebody in the passenger seat, they would need to talk up in order for me to hear them. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to play to you what this sounds like if I am using the built-in microphone. So yeah, you can't even hear me over the sound of the air conditioning. Unfortunately, you've got these vents right here. If they are blasting on full, it completely overpowers the microphone. So I then tried it with this microphone up here with the air conditioning off, and this is what it sounds like. Recording 3 with the cheap microphone, no AC. Now you can hear with that there's a little bit more gain on the microphone. It does actually sound a little bit more booming. The microphone is relatively close to my mouth up here. I'm not necessarily sure that I need it pointed directly at my mouth, but maybe there's an option that I can change in the settings to change the gain on the microphone, which is likely what I would want to change on that. If I turn on the air conditioning with the cheap microphone, you get this sound. Recording 4 with the cheap microphone, full AC. So you can definitely tell the air conditioning is on. It definitely doesn't sound great call quality, but at least you could hear me. If I had to call somebody and I was doing this, I would be able to be heard, and I wouldn't have to choose between having my air conditioning on and talking to somebody, which is what I've done in the past. Now we move to the third microphone, this microphone here, and I'll play it first with it mounted up here on the roof of the car. This is right next to where the right next to the location of the other microphone, and this is how that microphone sounds with no air conditioning. Recording 5 with the more expensive microphone, no AC. And you can immediately hear that with this sound, it is much clearer, much better than it was even with the cheap microphone. Now, when I switch over to having the air conditioning on, we do get some noise, but it's a considerable improvement. So here we go. Recording 6 with the more expensive microphone, full AC. Now that'd be kind of annoying for somebody having to listen to that, but hopefully my air conditioning is not blasting at full for the entire time, unless I'm deep in the south, driving through Death Valley. I then had a pop shield that you can see here that I was able to put on the microphone just to see how that did. This, theoretically, guards against sort of wind sounds, but it doesn't really do a huge amount because it's not as if there is a huge amount of air getting blown over the microphone here. I think if you had the front defrost turned on full, maybe that might actually do something. If I did this, then you're getting all the air blowing over the top. But even there's not a huge amount of wind hitting this. So it's not as if it's being caused by direct vibration of air against the microphone so much as just the overall noise bouncing off the interior of the cabin. So with the pop shield on, this is what it sounds like with no AC. Recording 7 with the pop shield on the expensive microphone, no AC. With microphone with the air conditioning. 8 with the more expensive microphone and the pop shield, full AC. And the other place that I tried it was just positioning it down in the speaker well here. You can clip it on if you wanted to. I was seeing if that actually resulted in any better sound. Recording 9 with the steering wheel mount, expensive microphone, no AC. And with AC. Recording 10, expensive microphone, steering wheel mount, full AC. So as you can see, there's no real benefit to putting it in the steering wheel mount. It's just as easy to mount it up above the car here. So the only thing that mounting it up here makes any difference with is the routing of the cable. And I will just manually now show you how I did that. So in order to get the microphone up there, I had to route it along this line here. And you can do that without really having to remove any panels. It just sort of folds in behind the trim neatly. The next thing that I then needed to do is to actually remove this vertical column here carefully, bearing in mind that behind here I've got side airbags, and route the cable through here. It then comes down to this area here, and this is where you can sort of pull on the bottom near where the release is for the hood of the car. And if you pull that out, you can get into this space here. You can then grab the front air conditioner, pull that out of the way, and then pull this panel here out. So that's relatively simple to do those 3 pieces. Then what you can do is you can wire the wire. I'm going to do this off camera because I don't feel like doing this while holding on to the phone and recording, but I'm going to route the wire behind the side airbags down this column into this space, and then once I've got it in this space, I just do a little bit of fishing to get it through to the steering column here. I'm going to do all of that with the power turned off. The way that I did that was I used I've got a carbon fiber rod here and some duct tape on the end of it, and I just stuck the 3.5mm jack to the end of that and shoved it through the steering wheel column, being careful not to get it anywhere near any sort of moving mechanical parts. The last thing that I want to do is either interfere with the operation of steering by impeding the movement of the steering wheel, or more likely, if I was to do that, the most likely thing is that it would just snap the cable. So I want to try and make sure that I keep it well out of the way of any moving parts of the steering wheel column. And then obviously this all just fits into the back here. Actually, let me just turn the car off first before I go messing with this. There is a harness here for all of the different cables. I've got it wrapped up in duct tape. And then here, this one here marked as mic, is where the 3.5mm jack goes in. So that is what I am going to be routing through into the car. Hopefully this helps you. I'll leave a link to each of the parts in the description, and hopefully this will help you make a better decision with how to get calls on the car. there's any other questions you have about the device, I'm happy to share them.